Police investigators continue to review an incident that resulted in a police shooting of a man in Sandy Point late January. According to information released on their preliminary investigations, police officers responded to a call relating to a child beating, in which a parent reported that a male neighbor had beaten his 7-year-old son. According to the police release, when officers arrived on the scene, the reported neighbor was behaving violently and began threatening the officers. He also refused to comply with instructions given by the police officers. The officers then called for support and the anti-gang unit arrived on the scene. The police release stated that the man advanced towards the police officers while swinging his knife and threatening to kill one of the officers. After refusing to comply with warnings and instructions and continuing his violent approaches, members of the anti-gang unit fired and shot him in the legs. The release indicated that he was taken to the JNF General Hospital for emergency care and is now reported to be in stable condition. Police are continuing their investigation into the circumstances surrounding the incident. Glenn Barrett, Skn Newsline. Not since the early 1980s has there been a major international film produced in St. Kitts and Nevis. Now New Yorkshire-based MSR Media is in Nevis to film scenes of a comedy called 1 Year Off. 1 Year Off is one of 2 movies to be filmed in Nevis under an agreement between MSR Media and the Nevis Island Administration. Casting call is now open to Nevisians for 3 characters in the movie: Robin, a 30 to 40-year-old female; Joseph, a 25 to 30-year-old male; and Farah, a 30 to 35-year-old female. Persons wishing to apply for the role should have previous acting or modeling experience and can submit their interest to mary@msrmedia.co.uk. Philippe Martinez, the film's producer, is quoted as saying, quote, "In every film, the casting of the supporting artists who will appear in the film is very exciting time."
In every film, the casting of the supporting artists who will appear in the film is a very exciting time. In this case, it is even more so, as this is a wonderful way to meet the people of Nevis. I insisted that we want to use the real people in the film. People who will appear in the film in their real jobs, such as sellers in the farmers market, shoppers, restaurant owners, bartenders, and so and so. It will be an absolute pleasure to introduce them to the new film industry in Nevis, and a wonderful way for us filmmakers to include the people of Nevis in the making of the film here.
MSR Media is also casting for supporting actors in non-speaking roles, also known as extras. Such persons can apply through mary@msrmedia.co.uk. In late January, Nevis's Premier Mark Brantley said the movie deal is expected to directly inject about $1 million into the economy of Nevis. Glenn Barrett, Skn Newsline.
St. Kitts and Nevis and the world at large has a new social media service created by a local IT expert and entrepreneur. Enoite Inanga introduced St. Kitts and Nevis recently to Bestimony, a social media site that encourages its users to convey positive messages to other users. He unveiled the site to attendees at the Emergence and Affirmation Summit recently in Bastyr and spoke to Skn Newsline about it.
Bestimony is, in my own words, the most positive social media platform that you never knew you needed. It's that one space where you can go to send any message that you feel will enhance the value of someone. That could be an inspiration, it can be a motivational message, it can be a message of gratitude, it can be a message of affirmation, a message of encouragement, whatever it is. And I say this because when we use other platforms to send these messages to other people, they are hard to find. They get lost amidst all the other things that you receive on WhatsApp, on Facebook. But if you have a central location where all your positive messages, all the things that are positive about you can live, when you need that pick-me-up, when you want to go find those things that are positive about you, when you want to share those things that are positive about you with other people, when you want other people to see the good in you, they will all exist in one ecosystem, and that's on Bestimony. It's free, by the way. And this is just the beginning. There's a whole lot more to what this platform is going to do and a whole lot more to what it's actually doing at the moment.
Mr. Inanga said Bestimony will not sell people's data for monetization purposes, as is done by other more established social media services. So how then does he intend to earn from Bestimony?
Question. The first thing I ask everyone is, who gets excited about ads? Nobody gets excited about ads. So for me, I can't come with a new product and tell people like, okay, the way we're going to make some money is by playing a lot of ads that you don't want to see. Why is that a business model? You can't just come to market with a new product and decide that we're going to make money just because we're playing ads. Come on, man. That's just not going to work for me. I can't bring something that you don't want to see that you're not going to be excited about. People get excited about free stuff, but more so, people get more excited about value creation. Say that word, value creation for themselves and value creation for other people. So when you look at a platform like WhatsApp, WhatsApp has always been free. There was a time that we were going to charge 99 cents a year, but it's always been free. But why were they able to sell it for $19 billion to Facebook? It's because there was a value created for the users, for millions of users. So when you create value for many people, then you have an asset. And once you have an asset, then what's there to worry about? There's nothing. You go through this life coveting assets, not liabilities. And I'm not going to trade your personal data for anything. If there's going to be any monetary gain from my platform, it's going to be through an exchange for goods, services.
Signing up for Bestimony is free, and Mr. Inanga is hoping he can soon increase the membership and usage. I'm Andre Huey for Skn Newsline. February is Black History Month. Each day on our newscast, Skn Newsline will be highlighting Black iconic Caribbean people who have made a valuable contribution to our societies. Brian Charles Lara, a Trinidadian former international cricketer, is widely known and acknowledged as one of the greatest batsmen of all time. He topped the Test batting rankings on several occasions and holds several cricketing records, including the record for the highest individual score in first-class cricket, with 501 not out for Warwickshire against Durham in Eggbaston in 1994. Lara also holds the record for the highest individual score in a Test innings after scoring 400 not out in Antigua in 2004. When he was 15 years old, he played his first West Indian Under-19 tournament, and that same year, Lara represented West Indies in Under-19 cricket. He established the Pearl and Bunty Lara Foundation, which is a charitable organization in memory of his parents that aims to address health and social care issues. He's an ambassador for sport for Trinidad and Tobago and travels on a diplomatic passport to promote his country throughout the world. Brian Lara received an honorary doctorate from the University of Sheffield on Wednesday, January 10, 2007. In September 2009, Lara was inducted as an honorary lifetime member of the Royal St. Kitts Golf Club. He wrote an autobiography, Beating the Field, My Own Story, co-written with Brian Scofield.
For 2021, Smart Electronics is giving you the best deals you can ever imagine. From January 1st until April 30th, you will get the best deals in the entire federation. Plus, that's not all. Get extra special deals on Valentine's Day on all items store-wide, such as cell phones, 85 inches smart TVs, laptops, washing machines, refrigerators, AC units, small appliances, and much more. Visit us. We're located at Port Zante, opposite the food court, or call us at 466-4271. This promotion is valid until April 30th. Terms and conditions apply.
Caribana on Liverpool Row is your anything you want store in St. Kitts. They have a wide variety of just about everything. Ladies and men's clothing, shoes, children's clothing, toys, housewares of all kinds, small appliances like clothes heaters, microwaves, electric kettles and more, cosmetics, perfumes, cosmetic jewelry, and much, much more. Their prices are unbeatable, and customer service is second to none. Shop at Caravana on Liverpool Road, Bastair. Call 465-1745. At Caravana, find value supplies at great prices.
Come to Vibes Beach Bar and Grill at the Frigate Bay Strip, your place for the best selection of local dishes. Join us for lunch. Mahi-mahi, barbecue ribs, fresh caught snapper, salmon, lobster, and our world-famous Vibes wings at economically sound prices. Dinner is served from the deck or the golden sands of the Frigate Bay Beach. Join us for birthdays, business meetings, or just for fun in a family-friendly environment. Open daily from 11 a.m. Vibes Beach Bar and Grill. Great food, hospitality, entertainment, and good vibes. Call 465-8423 for reservations and inquiries.
I feel good.
Clashes between the opposition and security forces right next to the presidential palace. It's become a regular occurrence on the streets of Port-au-Prince. Protesters continue to demand President Jovenel Moïse steps down.
It's a strike against kidnapping, against hunger in the country, and we are sending a clear message to the president to respect the Constitution.
Earlier this week, transport unions and other workers went on a two-day strike denouncing institutional violence and an alarming rise in kidnappings. Human rights groups say at least 1,000 people were kidnapped in 2020.
When someone is kidnapped, the person must go to the street and ask for Jovenel Moïse to give him security. That's the reason why we organized 2 days of lockout to show Jovenel Moïse that we can't accept this situation, you know? But as soon as the lockout finished, the kidnapping restart quickly.
Haiti's opposition says it's time for Moïse to go. They say his mandate ends this Sunday. But Moïse disagrees. He says his 5-year term began when he was sworn in 2017 and that he still has 1 year in power. But members of the opposition say Moïse's term began in 2016 in the wake of chaotic elections. And while the political crisis deepens, Haiti's economy continues to deteriorate. Economists like Camille Charlemers says urgent action is needed.
The amount of people going hungry in the country has doubled. It's gone from 2 million to 4 million people. The currency is devaluated and there's an inflation rate close to 25%.
To complicate matters, legislative elections were postponed when parliamentary terms expired. This past year, President Moïse has been ruling Haiti by decree. The U.S. and the Organization of American States have urged new legislative elections to restore the balance of power. Moïse is proposing a referendum in April to reform the constitution.
Last week, we held a major meeting with all entities, including the UN, the Provisional Electoral Council, the Advisory Committee, the government, the police chief, the Prime Minister. We had a big talk about security issues, elections, and the referendum. We were clear with all these people on April 25th because it will be a victory date for us.
But the opposition says it's another excuse to hold on to power. And that's why they vow to continue pressuring the government on the streets. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera.
Up first this evening, stop all face-to-face teaching immediately. That call from the Jamaica Teachers Association amidst record numbers of COVID-positive cases in the last 3 days. The JTA says the situation at this time merits the drastic call. Giovanni Dennis has more.
We are calling for the immediate halt of all face-to-face engagements in teaching and learning.
That call from the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Jasford Gabriel, because of the record spike in positive COVID-19 cases in the last 3 days.
Unless we have abandoned the risk-ranking approach, then it ought to dictate that schools be closed in this kind of context, because one of the critical aspects of the risk ranking approach is to look at the spread of the virus in communities. And obviously what we are seeing now is unprecedented, and we have refrained from opening schools in anything near this kind of atmosphere in the past.
Mr. Gabriel says the JTA understands the challenges that online classes continue to pose, but he insists it's the safer choice to return all students back to that platform for now.
Schools are clusters and have the propensity to have a multiplier effect as far as the spread of the virus is concerned. I've seen firsthand some of our school-age students all over the country involved in some of these illegal parties and sessions, and we all know of the kind of indiscipline in the transportation sector with many of our students, and the lack of capacity of the providers in some instances to enforce the protocols. And so our teachers and other members of the public are being exposed by students who many times are asymptomatic.
Now, the JTA is calling for the immediate stop of all face-to-face classes, especially because it is not yet clear how widespread the new COVID-19 strain may be in Jamaica.
And to complicate this, we are not sure if the new strain of the virus is also present. And so I think it's very, very important that we move with alacrity to ensure that we deal with the matter of safety and security first, as we seek to make sure that health remains paramount.
Jamaica recorded 328 new positive COVID-19 cases on Friday, a record daily tally. This broke the previous record of 263 that was recorded a day earlier on Thursday. Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.
Scientists behind the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine say it should still protect against the worst potential consequences of COVID after a study suggested that it had a limited effect against the South African variant of the disease. Around 100 cases of that variant have been identified in the UK. The study, involving a trial of 2,000 people, has not yet been reviewed by other experts. Our medical editor Fergus Walsh reports now on the latest research and the ongoing effort to combat emerging and future strains of the coronavirus.
Snow and ice did not stop the vaccination drive in Ipswich today. There is now a road, albeit a difficult one, out of the pandemic. But there's concern that current vaccines being used at thousands of centres across the UK might eventually lose some of their potency as coronavirus evolves. The Oxford-AstraZeneca jab works well against the Kent variant, first seen in September and now dominant in the UK. But a small study of 2,000 young adults in South Africa suggests it gives minimal protection against mild and moderate disease caused by the variant there. Even so, scientists in Oxford are confident it would still prevent serious COVID disease.
Maybe we won't be reducing the number of cases as much, but we still won't be seeing the deaths, the hospitalizations and the severe disease. And that's really important for healthcare systems, even if we're having mild and asymptomatic infections. To prevent people from going into hospital with COVID would have a major effect.
Coronavirus is constantly mutating. Most changes aren't a worry. Vaccines use the gene from the spike protein to train the immune system. So if this code mutates, as it has in the variants from South Africa, Brazil and Kent, it may make the virus less visible to antibodies. Thankfully, T cells, another part of our immune system, look like they can spot infection, meaning existing vaccines should protect against severe disease. More than 100 cases of the South Africa variant have been found in the UK, and house-to-house testing in affected areas is underway in a bid to suppress its spread. But it's inevitable more variants will emerge. The Oxford team are creating prototype vaccines against several variants and say they'll be ready if needed by the autumn. Coronavirus immunisation may become an annual event.
we see very much probably an annual or a booster in the autumn and then an annual, in the way we do with flu vaccinations, where you look at what variant of virus is spreading around the world, you rapidly produce a variant of vaccine, and then begin to vaccinate and protect the nation.
The more coronavirus mutates, the less likely it is transmission can be stopped. It means COVID will probably be a permanent threat, but like other diseases, mostly preventable by vaccination. Fergus Walsh, BBC News.
Well, the latest government figures show that there were 15,845 new coronavirus infections recorded in the latest 24-hour period. That means an average of 18,358 new cases per day in the last week. Another 373 deaths were reported. That's people who died within 28 days of a positive COVID-19 test. Numbers do tend to be lower at the weekend. On average, in the past week, 901 deaths were announced every day. The total number of UK deaths is now 112,465. The latest on the vaccination programme is that just under 550,000 people had a first dose of one of the three approved COVID-19 vaccines in the latest 24-hour period. And that takes the overall number of people who've had their first jab to just over 12 million. Well, more now from Fergus, who's with me here in the studio. We've had another big number on the vaccination side of things, Fergus, but how concerned should we be about this study into the South African variant and the Oxford vaccine?
Well, Michelle, new variants of coronavirus are going to emerge all the time. It's what viruses do. But coronavirus actually mutates much more slowly, say, than seasonal flu. And it's unclear how often we are going to need a booster dose. It could be annually, it could be every 2 years or even longer. It's simply too early to tell. But it's straightforward to tweak these vaccines. It would only need small clinical trials. The current vaccines, Pfizer and AstraZeneca, both work really well against the predominant strains here, especially after 2 doses. Now, against the South African variant and maybe the Brazilian one, they may be less likely to stop mild and asymptomatic disease, which is less good news for slowing the spread. But the bottom line is, vaccines are the best protection we have. So if you get your invite, go for it. The rollout has been a big success. 12 million people have had their first dose, 500,000 their second.
Fergus, thank you very much. Fergus Walsh, our medical editor.
It's a nearly $2 trillion economic plan designed to rebuild the U.S. economy, decimated since back in March due to the spread of COVID-19.
This is about people's lives.
Biden's plan includes direct payments to struggling Americans of $1,400. Unemployment benefits would be extended until September, $400 a week. The plan will provide relief to working and middle-class Americans, particularly communities of color, disproportionately harmed by the pandemic.
And I want to say it very clearly on this, be very clear on this point. It's better economics. It not only addresses the immediate crisis we're in, it's better for the long-term economic health of our nation and our competitiveness.
Still, Republicans and Democrats are unable to agree on the details, so Democrats have cut Republicans out of the process.
The Vice President votes in the affirmative.
In an early Friday morning vote, Vice President Kamala Harris broke a 50-50 tie in the U.S. Senate over details of the rescue plan, paving the way for Democrats who control Congress and the White House to pass their legislation into law.
If I have to choose between getting help right now to Americans who are hurting so badly and getting bogged down in a lengthy negotiation, or compromising on a bill that's up to the crisis, that's an easy choice. I'm going to help the American people who are hurting now.
The relief is badly needed. On Friday, the Labor Department reported the U.S. had added just 49,000 jobs. With COVID infections high and businesses shut down, millions remain out of work, and economic recovery at best is sluggish. There's fear, even with economic stimulus checks, Americans will save instead of spending.
Giving you half of what you usually spend in a month every 5 months, again, better than not getting it, okay? And I know people need it, but it's just not a solution, right? It's stop the bleeding. It's not repair the wound.
A large stimulus comes with risk. There is fear of unintended consequences like inflation and a weakened American dollar. But Democrats in Congress and the White House believe that right now, those risks are worth it if Americans can get back to work. Kimberly Helkett, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Bangladesh declared on 223 for 8 in their second innings, setting West Indies a daunting victory target of 395 in Chattogram. But the tourists were indebted to an inspired display from Mayors as they completed the 5th highest successful run chase in Test history. They were floundering at 59 for 3 before reaching 110 for 3 at stumps on day 4, with victory seeming unlikely. But Mayors shared a 4th wicket stand of 216 with fellow debutant Nkrumah Bonner as Bangladesh failed to take a wicket in the first 2 sessions of the final day. Bonner was eventually dismissed for 86 before Mayors sealed the victory with just 15 balls remaining. Mayers' 310-ball innings featured 24s and 7 sixes as he became only the 6th player to score a double hundred in the 4th innings of a Test. The 28-year-old made just 32 domestic appearances prior to his Test debut and averaged a modest 29. The Windies' win marked the highest successful 4th innings chase since 2008 and the highest made in Asia. The final match of the 2-Test series begins on Wednesday, Caribbean time. Joel Rain, ABS Sports.
Stay abreast with news on St. Martin with SMN News. Visit www.smn-news.com for up-to-date news, scoops, opinions, and hard-hitting facts. SMN News, we tell it like it is. Visit our website www.smn-news.com.
It's the new and improved Skn Newsline Android mobile app. With the Skn Newsline app, you can watch your news reports, the Skn Newsline Newscast, sports, special features, and so much more. You can also send us a WhatsApp or call us directly. Go in the Google Play Store, search Skn Newsline, and download the app today. The Skn Newsline mobile app. News on the go. For the finest in pastries and baked products, your only choice has to be Bryden's Bakery, located on Main Street, New Road, St. Peters. They offer the best in breads, cakes, cheesecakes, cupcakes, cookies, and much more. Visit their cafe and savor breakfast sandwiches, coffee, espresso, and ice cream. Bryden's Bakery also specializes in a variety of healthy breads, cakes, cookies, pies, and pastries for all your special events. Call 667-1505. Opening hours 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sundays for Ice Cream Sundays. Bryden's Bakery, simply the best.
Banners, commercial signs, decal printing, canvas prints, license plates, posters. We at Multigraphics are dedicated to providing quality products and service to our customers. Our team takes pride in the craftsmanship and is passionate about its work. Every job, large or small, is important. Most of our customers come to us through referrals. That's because our #1 priority is service. We serve a wide variety of customers, such as restaurants, retail stores, manufacturers, trucking companies, and many more. Our capabilities include design, production, and installation. How can we help? We are located at Bird Rock at the Woods Right compound. Call us at 869-763-1511 or 784-491-7599. Multigraphics.
On behalf of management and staff of Auto Plus, we want to wish you a Happy New Year and a prosperous 2021.
Located on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Bring your car to Auto Plus Car Wash to remove water stains, wiper marks. Get your doors, roof panel cleaned, seat floor mats, buffing, headlights, and engine wash. You get quality service at the best price at Auto Plus Car Wash. They really care for your car. Call 765-5140 or visit them on College Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Auto Plus Car Wash, where the service is number one.